throw right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, one of the things we talked about coming into this one is we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He'll try and do this himself. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Love looking to throw it. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Love now. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this one is incomplete.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Got his man. That's Luke Musgrave. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing. Love. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. It was Miles Murphy who fired in and got him to the ground. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Love looking for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Can he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. We're going to get this outside. Oh, this could be a double pass. That'll be incomplete. They'll dip it into the bag of tricks there, but it does not work out. And it's 4th down now. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. He's got it. A lot of work to get to the first down marker. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this defense holds on the Knights' opening drive.
I know coaches always tell us that they make decisions about these types of plays, this type of a fake, earlier in the week to take the emotion out of the deal. I don't know that that was really true here. This one felt like all of a sudden, hey, I have a feeling about it. Let's go ahead and get it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I know one thing. They wish they had it back.
Yeah, they certainly do, but the buck stops with the head coach on that one. He has to green light that attempt.
Now Burrow changing things up here. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now 2nd and 9. Now Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Burrow. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Here we go now on 1st and goal. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jordan Love keeping it himself from 8 yards out. And the Packers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. The Packer offense and Jordan Love staying out there, so they're going to try to go for 2. And that's caught at the 2. And he will get in to make it 8-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 35. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. One quarter down, 8-0 the score. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. Now they go play action now. Burrow. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Yoshibas, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Bengals are back within a couple of the lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. And this is caught. So they get the 2 points, and now we're even at 8-8. Well, it's definitely early enough here. They didn't need to go for 2. They didn't have to go for 2, but hey, they did. We're all tied at 8.
Is this one of those anything you can do, I can match? Because that's exactly what we got on that one. Neither one of these teams wants to give any ground, do they?
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands but could not hang on. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Love. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Love. And that's incomplete. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. An audible here to get a new look. fourth down. Love. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So after the big play on fourth, here's first and 10. Again, it's Love. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Second down and 6 now. Looking to throw. Love. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So it's third and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Love. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up first and goal.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Matthew Golden punching it in from a yard away. And the Packers have taken the lead.
This feels like something we'd see more commonly, CD, in a college game. They give it to the receiver down here in the red zone, but it winds up successful.
Yeah, partner, I think you think it's less likely to find running space to the edge down here close to the end zone where things are so condensed. But a lot of times you end up focusing on the running backs, and they're able to slip it to the receiver, and it resulted in a touchdown.
And this will be caught. They get the 2, and they double them up now at 16-8. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Now Burrow changing the look.
First down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. First and 10.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Again, it's Burrow. Now he'll tuck this and run. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Andre Yoshibas. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Yeah, touchdown. I love it. Now it's only a 2-point game. I know it's the first half, but you got to think. Go for 2. Tie it up. Go into the locker room. What are you doing? Come on.
You're bold. You're bold.
It's real easy to be bold sitting up here
rather than
down there and making that decision.
We'll have to make those decisions. Either way, little time left on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll see how this all plays out. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Love from the gun. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this is caught on the sideline. And he gets out of bounds as well. How about that? A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Love. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
He'll try and do this himself. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half. Love. And it'll be intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. Fighting his way through contact. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Burrow will throw. Looking deep here for Chase. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Burrow looking to pass. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Now it's Burrow. Looking deep here for Chase. That is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Third quarter of a two-point game. A good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Again, he'll drop the throw. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down. Play action. It's Burrow. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. To the air again, Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is caught. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. And Burrow going to change the play. Brown is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. So part of it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 52 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
That's a nice job right there. Get the ball out to the... He's just going to take this, turn upfield, and turn it into a big play in 1st and goal.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Play action this time with Love. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Matthew Golden, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. So here we go. The Packers will line up to go for 2. That's caught, and he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. They'll set up a throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. And Burrow going to throw again. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it. And he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. But just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. Now Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And a short gain here, down to the 22.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. To throw, Burrow. Now they go screen. It's complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Throwing, Burrow. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Boy, hard to catch your breath. Another big play looming, 4th and 3. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. He'll try to do it himself. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really
Not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show.
And the defense loses him. It's complete.
And if it wasn't over before, it is now. Looking for that one final first down. They got it and then some. And if they play things right from here on out, that should just about assure them a victory.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Cincinnati, good night, everybody.